How are we doing, everyone? Hope you're all well. Thank you for joining me for episode 3 on the Long Lake. I have already made a video this morning over on the main lake. Day ticket darkness, I think I called it. I've just moved over from there, come on the Long Lake, and we're right at the deep end. I did have a jacket on a minute ago. I took it off to move the van. That's going back on. It is absolutely freezing. It's Monday. I think it's the 17th of November, so if you look back at temperatures, you'll know what I mean. I think it's 5-6 degrees today in the day, easterly wind, terrible conditions, worse than yesterday when I was here. So I'm already making the excuses why episode 1 and 2 was crap. Episode 3 could well be the same, who knows? But I'm going to spin you around, show you where we are, what we're doing, and we're going to see how we get on with this one. So I've come pretty much as far up the deep end as possible for 2 reasons. One, I've just caught a fish over on the main lake in the deeper area. So if they're in there in the deeper area, I don't see why they wouldn't be here in the deeper area. And 2, yesterday, as it was getting light, I see fish activity around here, just the other side of the willow. The willow tree's just the other side of this like hedgerow. So we're not a million miles further up from where we was yesterday, but this is the real deep end. I've took into consideration the crayfish, so I'm not really sure what my plan of attack is. All I know is I've got to sort of try and combat the crays somehow. So yeah, leave that with me. But the Rotractive, they're topping. Haven't seen a carp, got to be honest. Been watching about 20 minutes now, haven't seen anything. As the day goes on, the sun is meant to come out, so if that is the case, we're going to start deep, and as the sun comes up, we're going to move up and up the lake, because I'm going to do 2, maybe 3 episodes on here today, depending how long I've got. Hopefully they're not all bloody blanks, but they could well be. They've all filmed on the same day, aren't they? So it's terrible conditions, like I've already mentioned, but we're here, we're giving it a go. I'm the only person on the entire complex, so yeah, says a lot, doesn't it? Anyway, let me get some kits sorted, and I'll see you shortly with a game plan. So we're getting ready to sort of cast in now. Rods are all set. I'm going to take you through the setup. All 3 rods are set the same, except the left-hand one's got a different lead. So they're not identically set up, but the only difference is the lead, okay? So it's the 18-pound KORDA contour fluorocarbon, length for dark matte tungsten tubing, down to the KORDA run sleeve. Like I say, the left-hand one's got the 3-ounce flat swivel pair on, and that's got the old flip rig on with a 15mm trick nut. The middle and right hand rod exactly the same, other than lead. Rigs are the same, baits are the same, etc. The only reason I'm using the swivel distance on these is because I've just used them on the main lake, and that's going to be, the middle one's going to go out in the middle, the right hand one's going to go out to the right. It's convenient, isn't it? And the left hand one is going to come in this near margin, so it is a bit of a shelf there, so I need the flat swivel pair instead of a distance one, because it can roll down. I'm going to fish my lines a lot tighter than I normally would, purely because I want to fish for information. During this period, I want to know if I need to stay or if I need to move. It's just gone 7:20, so I'm going to give this till 10 o'clock. So just over 2.5 hours. If I've not had a liner or any kind of indication telling me there's fish present, then I need to move, okay? It'd be great to get a bite, because then obviously it tells me they're here. I believe they're here. What I'm going in with, I've got no issues with at all. In addition to the rig, with my little bag of goodies down here. So I've got a bag of the older, or a big stick. I've just used these on the other lake. There's a mixture of trick nut pellets, pure cuts pellets in there, crumbed up trick nut, and some small other pellets I had left over from, I can't even remember what they are now. So that's all mixed together. In there is some 15mm shelf life trick nut. So I'm just going to scatter a few freebies around, sort of all around the area. Got the old Pure Cuts plum goo. Can't cast out without that at the minute, love it. And like I say, we're just going to scatter a few baits all around the area. I'm not going to put any of the pellets in today. Just want to put a few boilies in, get them used to picking these up, because these are going to be used as hook baits quite a lot during these winter months, so get a little bit in. Crayfish, right. I'm hoping, because yesterday when I was here and I put just plain baits out, they didn't bother with them. However, this could be my downfall, that piece of rig putty on there, because they absolutely love putty. So it's going to be more information with them as well. If I bring my rig in and my bait's okay but the rig putty's gone, then I know fishing a plain bait straight out the bag they don't go for. I think I'm talking shit, if I'm honest. I think they'll have it all. I'll bring it in, there'll be a bare hook and no rig putty, but we'll see. Anyway, let's get some rods cast in and get going, because yeah, sun's rising already, and yeah, let's just hope we get one on this bloody episode. So we're going to start with a right hand rod. I've actually squeezed a load of goo inside the PVA bag. I've jabbed the nose of it in and absolutely loaded it, so there's loads and loads of attraction in there, and we'll just see how it goes. Yeah, that took a long time to sink. Now time for the middle rod again. I've absolutely laced it full of this stuff, so yeah, high attract again. Now time for the left one. Like I say, that's going to go just down this near margin. Now I'm just going to scatter a few baits around the area and anywhere, willy-nilly, it doesn't matter where. Give them a few down the edge. I think we'll scatter one more handful around. That'll be plenty then. Cool, that's it. Down to the fish now. So we'll put you on the stand now, watching the rods. Like I say, it's information fishing, having the lines as tight as they are, but it could save me the rest of my day. If I sit here for the next 2.5 hours now, don't get a line or nothing, don't see anything, don't get a bite, no indications whatsoever, then I know I need to move for the next video. But if I get indications saying the fish are here, then I need to change my approach of how I'm fishing to catch them, don't I? So it's a win-win. But anyway, we'll keep watching the rods, we'll see what happens. Well, I've just come up here to take my photo for the old thumbnail. I had to move the old camera stand and that out of the way. Not that I need the camera stand though, because absolutely nothing is happening. It's 9:20 already. So we've got 40 minutes left. Nothing's happened. I've seen or heard nothing. I've had absolutely no indications, no bounces on the line, no liners, nothing at all to tell me that where I've got lines going through the water there is fish moving around. I'm looking at that far bank and the sun's penetrating down on there, so if nothing happens in the rest of this episode, I might move around there. But part of me now is saying, don't waste your last 40 minutes, get your bloody ass round there and spend the last 40 minutes or so, half an hour by the time I get round there, over that side, and just abandon this bit, because by now, within an hour, if you're on fishing tightest lines through a depth of water, you should kind of get some kind of indication or see something up, but there's nothing, you know. And it's cold this side. That side it looks a lot warmer, a lot more appealing to me to sit in, so you'd think the carp would be more likely to be over there instead of sort of, if I come out of the sun, you'll kind of get an idea. It's very dull this side, whereas that side it looks nice and warm. So yeah, sod it, we're moving. What I'm going to do is I'll extend an hour on this one. Instead of finishing it at 10 o'clock, we'll finish it at 11, because there's not a lot in this episode at the minute. I'll see you when I get round there. We are on the move, but I'm just going to show you before we go. They all come in absolutely perfect. Rig putty's still present, baits are present, hair's not tangled. Good, that's good. So we're going to stick with the trick nut now as the hook bait. But like I say, Going to get ourselves over there because look at that, that looks a lot warmer over there. So if nothing else, I'll be blanking in the warm instead of blanking in the cold. Got to drive steady around the other side. Got the old bit of ribeye thawing out on the bonnet. So yeah, me and the ribeye will see you around the other side. You'll be pleased to know me and the ribeye safely made it round here. Let me show you where I've decided I'm coming in. This is halfway up the lake now. It's a nice open peg this as well. Do you know what? You could actually bivvy up in this peg and oh, it would be a nice one to come and do a night in here. Yeah, I'll get my little shelter there. So yeah, we might be having a night in here at some point soon. We're going to come in here. It's nice, it's open. I think the swim needs rebuilding, but it's still plenty safe enough. We was the other side of that willow in that corner, or here you can see straight away, look, sun, it's on the water here. I can flick one up that edge, one sort of out in the middle, one up that way. There's nobody on the lake. I can just throw stuff around. So we're going to stay in here till 11 o'clock, not 10 o'clock. So let me get some kit set up. I'm going to carry on the same approach. And I'm going to get the bloody kettle on. So straight away being round here, my jacket's come off, back of my Crocs, the temperature is completely different. Fishing situation is going to be exactly the same. I'm going to repeat the process we did round there, just in a lot warmer environment. So trick nut, 15mm again, just another bag on, covered in the plum goo. Going to do the same again, one in the edge, sort of one in the central body of the lake, and then one sort of over in sort of a third of the way out. So we're covering all kind of angles this side of the lake. So this one we'll put in the near margin. Now time to get the middle one out. This is going to go right in the centre of the lake, in the deepest part. So again, exactly the same, loaded goo again on the big old stick. I'm just going to put it sort of out there. Time for the third and final rod again, exactly the same, but we're going to flick that sort of a third of the way out down this left hand side. So now I'm just going to put a few freebies around each rod. This edge one I'm actually going to break 5 or 6 up and just chuck them in crumbed over the top. Going to chuck whole ones in over that rod, whole ones in over that rod. So let's get rid of some of these. Cool, that's more than enough to get a bite, especially under these conditions. So it's time to get the kettle on. That's the best angle I can get to get all 3 rods in shot in case one does miraculously get a bite, you know. I feel a lot more confident round here, but it still doesn't mean we're going to catch. But because I say, we'll give it a good hour and a half round here, keep this one going because it's a lot warmer. So chances are we could be closer to the fish than we were 20 minutes ago. So yeah, let's see how it goes. Cheers all, first one of the vlog, not the first of today, but first one of this vlog. We're in the sunshine round here and I've still got my jacket on. I felt hot when I come round here, but I think the move of moving kit, getting reset up in a winter suit, just caused me to get a bit warm. Took my jacket off quite quickly. I soon decided I'm putting it back on because it is still cold this side. The sun's shining though, it is warmer than that side. If I want to be round here, I'm hoping the carp do as well. So it's down to them, rods are out, you know, it's up to them now. They either play ball or they don't. But while I'm having my coffee, as always, I will say thank you to you lot for supporting the channel in whatever way that you are. It really is appreciated and does really mean a lot. My subscribers go up every video I put out. So when I say on the clip, if you wouldn't mind subscribing, some people genuinely do press the button because I've said it. If you're one of them, thank you very much. If you haven't subscribed or you're new to the channel, please consider it. It really does help the channel grow, more people discover it, they subscribe, and it gets bigger, and that's how it works, you know. But if you don't want to subscribe, maybe give it a thumbs up, comment, something like that. Or if you just want to watch the video and be left in peace and think, I just want to watch my YouTube, that's absolutely fine, you know. You're supporting the channel by viewing the video anyway. So whatever you do from me, it really is appreciated. So yeah, thanks very much as always. Anyway, I think now I'm just going to put you back, try and get an angle of the rod, so if the miracle happens, we get a bite, you'll see it. The ribeyes up there hanging up in the tree in the sun, trying to thaw out, because there will be a burn up at some point today. Probably not in this vlog because it's still a solid block of ice yet, but never mind. Anyway, again from me, thanks very much. Now you can watch the rods again. That is lovely. When the wind drops off, it just goes flat and it looks a lot nicer here, whereas down that end you probably can't see, but it really has a bit of a ripple on and it looks so much colder down there. I just can't imagine the carp are down there. You would imagine that they're going to be here in this like warmer, flatter area with the sun penetrating. I don't think they're going to be right at that deep end we started in. I think we've got to be near. We must be near where they are. It's just finding where they are and then taking note of the conditions, etc. And then when it's these conditions again, which is going to be quite often, isn't it, coming up in the winter months, you kind of have a head start where you should be, the area you should be looking at. So it's just piecing bits of the jigsaw together, and then hopefully as these episodes go on, they should progressively get better, and so should the catch rates, hopefully. Something I will show is I've actually put a backrest on that one, because we're that close in the edge, that could get such a belting take, it could flip the old rod over, you never know. That's providing we get a take, but I've seen nothing here yet. No signs, no activities, no nothing. I don't really know what my next plan of action is. Like I say, when it gets to 11 o'clock, hello, hey Mr. Robin, look, cheeky little chap, he's just sat on my landing net handle. When it gets to 11 o'clock, if nothing's happened on the deck, do I then come off the deck or not? I don't know. This is the dilemma. I said, the next one we probably should be fishing zigs, or I'm thinking up in the water maybe, because we've done yesterday on the deck, nothing. So far today on the deck, nothing, but it doesn't mean I've been in the right spot. I could be presenting right, but not in the right place. So I don't know. I'm going to hope one of these goes off by 11 o'clock and it tells me to stay on the deck, because I don't really like zig fishing, but that's what you've got to do to catch the little buggers, and that's what you've got to do, isn't it? So we shall see, but I'll put you back on the stand. If anything happens, you'll know about it, and if it doesn't, I don't know, I guess I'll bring you back for end of episode maybe. Let's hope it's for fish though instead, eh? Well, I've just been sitting here listening to the robin sing its head off for the last, I don't know, 10 minutes or so. Managed to get a little clip of him, as you've seen. There is about 15 minutes of this left. Nothing at all has happened. I've seen nothing at all. I've been looking sort of down that bit as well. Nothing. I really don't know what to do when this time slot of allowed runs out. Am I just not in bite time? Am I not in the right area? Do I need to be off the deck? There's so many questions that are unanswered yet. So far we're on episode 3. We ain't even had a bloody line bite yet, let alone an actual bite. I don't know. Part of me thinks, well, should I go over on the main lake, do a couple of viewer requests, get them ticked off while the conditions are crap and nothing's happening on here? I've put 3 blank episodes out in a row. Do I go over there, get a couple of things ticked off the list, put a couple of fish on the mat today? So the next couple of videos you watch after this, there should be a couple of fish on it. And then come back to this when the conditions are better. I don't know. I'm looking around, I'm sort of pointing you at the lake so you can see it's lifeless. Even the roach have stopped. It's just like completely dead. I've seen no fish show since I've been on here this morning, since first light, whereas yesterday morning we see a couple sort of this side of the willow, 3 or 4 the other side of the willow. You know, I see 6 fish. I haven't seen one today. I'm on the same lake looking in the same area. It's just this easterly's kicked in and it really has killed it. So I'm not sure what to do. I'm going to have a think, let the time run out, and we'll make a decision from there. Well, we got one. guess what? Knobhead here didn't press record again. How many times have I done that? I'm sure I'll be doing it a few more yet, but we have an angry common in there. Probably getting on double figures, that one. So I'll get him out on the mat, we'll get him treated, and we'll get him back. But that was the left-hand rod, a third of the way out on this sort of, I don't know, half depth area, not shallow, not deep. A third of the way out. So happy days. That's given me the first piece of the puzzle to go on. So I'll get him on the mat and get him treated. We'll have a look and we'll get him back. So he's treated. His mouth, I'm just going to show you his mouth if he behaves. Look at it. They're pristine in here. They don't get caught anywhere near as much as the other lake. So we'll have a look. Yeah, you're a double figure, aren't you? Happy days. Right, let's lift you back in gently. Put you back in there. Yeah, you're 10, maybe pushing 11. But he's the first one. No, you don't want to come back on the bank. Let's flip him out. Happy days. Back on down to the depth. What a result. Left hand rod, a third of the way out. That tells you where I need to be fishing. That's happy days, because I was literally about less than 10 minutes away from winding them in, chucking 3 zigs on. That was going to be my plan. Think, right, we need to get off the deck, up in the water. They must be feeding up in the water. They're obviously not. Maybe I've not been patient enough, I don't know. Instead of finishing this at 11, which it nearly is now, I'm going to go till 12. I'm going to re-rig that rod up again, get a fresh hook linked on, get a fresh bait on, put it back on the same spot, bring that middle rod in closer, right hand rod, push it further out, about 10 baits over each again, sit back and give it another hour and see if we can get another one, because where there's one, there's definitely going to be more, especially this time of year. So let me get sorted. I'll bring you back when all the rods are out, sorted and done, and I'll see if I can actually remember to press record this time, because what a knobhead. But never mind, first one. Happy days. So I've done the left hand rod and the right hand rod now. I've just got the middle one to bring in. I've chucked about 20 baits over each rod. The middle one I will just chuck it back out, all on the same line, about a third of the way out, sort of not in the shallow, not in the deep, sort of half up the shelf. And all 3 rods will be fished the same then. Same range, about 20 baits around them, all the same hook baits, etc. And let's see if we can get another one. But yeah, you're on the stand and I am going to leave it on record now, so if something happens you will see it. Just had a violent knock on that left hand rod. See the tip really bounce, so it tells me there is still fish around there in that area. So I'm hopeful that maybe the left hand rod might go off again at some point soon, because there's definitely fish there, and they're definitely, I don't know, that looked like where tail smacked the line, a quick just sharp jut. It wasn't a bite or an aborted take on, I think. There's definitely a fish banged into the line. So yeah, hopefully at some point soon the left hand rod's going to go. So you'll see there's a rig on the ring there, a couple of rods swinging there. Unfortunately nothing did happen, but because I've had a fish from here and there's been activity since, episode 4 is going to be made in here. So let me spin you around, do an outro, give you a tiny little teaser of what episode 4 will be, and yeah, get on with the rest of my day. So like I say, that's it. We've had a fish, we're off the mark. I've located where I can get a bite from in conditions like these, which is great because I didn't expect a bite. You'll see I've got my jacket on. It has turned cold. The sun is it's moved round, so it's coming behind me now. At the moment it's still on the area I'm fishing, so I'm going to stay here, make episode 4 in here, but I'm going to go all out on pellets and cork. Pellet and cork basically, so I'm kind of giving episode 4 away. I'm going to make some massive bags of pellet up, and then I'm going to fish a cork on a Ronnie like we did in the main lake in a previous video. It done really well. It's going to be a 2 rod race in here, so those 2 behind me are going to be fished there, both on bags of pellets. The right hand rod is going to just get chucked in the middle, and I'm going to put something on there that you probably won't expect I'm going to put on. So hopefully you will join me for episode 4, because it could be an interesting one. But again, thanks for watching this one and the others if you have, or any other videos. But from me, that's it on this one. Again, don't forget the old thumbs up, subscribe, etc. And if you're out and about on the bank yourself, stay warm, be lucky, and hopefully you'll join me for the next one. But until then, take it easy, folks.